Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Desjardins Analyst Desk in day 4 of SMLCS. I'm your co-host Chendog, and here is
I'm your other co-host, Snowmobiling Seal.
right. Let's get into the nitty-gritty of today. All right, schedule. Well, first game we have win on the blue side versus Meet the Coomers on red, and for game 2 we have Damon Gaming taking blue side versus Bar Spitter Gaming on red. So, Snowmobiling Seal, tell me about what you think about these matchups.
I'm actually pretty excited about both games today. I think these have the potential to be absolute bangers. But getting into the first game, win versus Meet the Coomers, we have a sort of opposite priority team that we expect in this match. Win, we expect from their game so far to have a strong topside focus. This has seemingly translated pretty well into a cross match. And on the side of Meet the Coomers, we sort of have them wanting to play more stable lanes with a focus on the bottom side. So I'm interested to see how both teams manage their cross map priorities in game one.
Right, of course. Interestingly enough, here we do have a few priority picks that might be prized by both teams in the Samir in the bot lane, and of course, potentially the Mordekaiser in the top lane between Axrael and Elongated Girth here. So that's interesting because it you know Samir is a very practiced pick for Big Boss here in the bot lane. However, you know they are potentially looking to play through the bot side more, so perhaps looking for a more stable pick into his opponent. TJ in the cut here might be preferred. So what's your insight onto that?
Well, I actually do agree because going all in on the Severe pick is kind of a coin flip, right? Because if TJ in the cut decides that he wants to take a more stable lane phase, something super safe, the Sphere sort of loses that like explosive potential that she can bring to the table when you get really fed. Um, on the opposite hand, if they're willing to handshake a more explosive bot lane, then the Sphere pick can actually be pretty useful. So I think it'd actually be a more appropriate strategy to see if um, if either team is willing to ban it out and to try and see who chickens out on their bot lane pick first, and then pick based off of that for either side.
Yeah, correct. Um, all right. I think that's some good talk for game 1. 2 though here, Damon Gaming, of course, we're seeing them again. Very nice win from them yesterday, especially their MVP Togman in the top lane. Looking to see how that matchup will play out. You did miss the game yesterday, but from word of mouth, what do you think about the top lane matchup here in game 2? Of course, you have Pyro from Bar Spitter Gaming, very well practiced top laner, of course, matching up to Togman.
I think that it's going to be. I mean, if I were Barcelona Games, they are on red side, so they do have the option of last pick counter pick, and I think it can be something used to great effect, especially given um, what we know about Pyro's champion pool and how many different champions he can pull out in different situations. And from what I was able to see, looking at Damon Gaming's game yesterday, is that they sort of prioritized really stable lanes. Nothing too explosive, nothing too out of the ordinary, right? So it seems that that sort of is the style that they want working for them because gaming has a problem with adaptability. And playing hard to execute team comps sort of expose that weakness. So the stable lanes might actually be exactly what they need to play a more traditional team fighting composition, and sort of that'll be their avenue to challenge some of our teams.
Right, of course. Well, they have actually an interesting bot lane dynamic for that game 2 there with Comfortable Land and Delhi in the bot lane for Damon Gaming, and of course for BSG you have Secret H001 and of course Tonin there. So you know, it'll be interesting to see how perhaps the stronger support on the side of BSG can take advantage of the Damon Gaming bot lane here, as of course support does have significantly more control over the lane phase. So how do you think Secret H001 can utilize this early advantage for his team?
I think if Barcelona Games can sort of figure out that Damon Gaming wants a more stable laning phase, I think maybe Secret 001 can either handshake that, because we do know that he happens to play traditional enchanter supports very well, or if he wants to have more map impact, he can perhaps take a roaming pick, whichever one he feels most comfortable on. We know that he does happen to play a little bit of Nautilus. We saw his as well. So if he's willing to map impact, that could be something he does as well.
Right, looks like both of our cameras are back. That was quite awkward. But anyway, that will be all for the desk, and let's send it to a break now as we await the champ select for game one. Oh, looks like we're going straight to champ select apparently. All right, cool. Wait. All right, 30 seconds on the clock for win, and it looks like they will be banning out the Samira immediately. Well placed.
Yeah, just taking away that more explosive ball lane option for Meet the Coomers. Something that we may not have mentioned is Johnson V2's Vladimir is also something that keeps getting left up against him, which I think is a bit of a mistake, because he's an absolute menace on this champion as Meet the Coomers takes out their first main.
Right, of course. Targeting the enchanters in the bot lane. Lulu very strong on this patch with recent buffs, and of course Win respond with the Swain ban, likely for DVD pocket pick in the Swain. Very strong, very oppressive in lane with the double range bot lane and the high damage of the pick.
Meet the Coomers responding with Gwen to target the top lane.
Right, Axel has been putting a lot of time into this pick as of recent, and one ban left for Win. Will we see the Vladimir ban come out here? The Garen ban?
It's like it's going to be Garen as the final ban of phase 1 for Win. Meet the Coomers will appropriately respond with Darius.
Right, both Elongated Girth and Axrael here getting some comfort picks of theirs taken away, and it will be Mordekaiser priority picked for Win, stripping Elongated Girth from one of his more practiced picks as of recent. Of course, Ornn is still on the table, and he is very well versed in that. They should pick Vladimir here, yeah?
I mean, I would expect it. I would also expect Meet the Coomers to take their jungler in first pick phase as they hover and lock in the move. Because Win does have information on the kinds of junglers Avervision could play, so taking this pick early on in the draft does benefit them. And Vlad, as we picked as
of course. Right, the Mumu very smart here, as it does also take a bit and chip away from Shaw's champ pool on the side of Win. Of course, both these junglers here on both teams very well versed in tank junglers, so that's likely the matchup we will see here. Scaling Kassadin pick in the mid lane to match the Vladimir. That is an interesting decision in matching the scaling instead of just looking to play through mid and crush it early. So we'll see how this plays out, as likely both mid laners will be at the opposing backliners' throats.
We do know that Mordekaiser is the AP topside, so now Mordekaiser and Kassadin have this interaction where they force magic resist on the enemy team and give it higher value, so now both of them get equally affected by the defensive stats that the enemy team is now building. And we see Win also picking up Udyr at the end of their first phase. I would have actually preferred them to pick their support as Meet the Coomers locks in Yone.
Right, this Yone here is likely a Yone. No way it's a Yone bot lane, is it?
That would be an interesting pick.
As I have not seen Elongated Girth on this pick, so placing him on a top lane fighter instead of a top lane tank is quite interesting, actually. I'd like to see how he performs with it, as I've never seen him play before. And of course, the Morgana ban comes out of Meet the Coomers here. Looks like they'll be looking for a more aggressive style in the bot lane, potentially a Kai'Sa pick about to follow. Kai'Sa Nautilus are still on the table, and as we speak, Caster Curse comes through, and Kai'Sa is banned by Win.
I would expect Win-Win's final ban here to be Nautilus. I don't know if they're comfortable handing over Nautilus to DVD World Peace, who was shown to be very proficient on the champion and his game played on it.
Of course, aside from a few positional mistakes, it has been clean so far. And yep, there we go, as you've mentioned. It is interesting here, though, with the Morgana and the Rakan ban. I'm not quite sure as to how Rakan fits into a proper ban. I can understand the Morgana because it looks like they're going for a more aggressive bot lane here that just looks to fight and skirmish, so the Morgana ban makes sense, but Rakan is definitely less put towards healing, and it looks like a Rammus pick will come through for Meet the Coomers. Could it be an Amumu top lane? Or a Rammus
I am
top lane?
severely confused.
Or is this an Amumu or Rammus support? This draft does not make
Has now
a lot
taken
of
a very
sense.
weird turn.
Looks like it will be Ezreal, though, secured for win. We might see double Sheen item again. No flame, but you know, that is a 700 gold deficit you are putting on yourself for absolutely no reason. And it will be comboed with the Seraphine. Very safe, peel-oriented bot lane. They're looking to just scale and keep themselves alive here. So depending on
On
what
the
this
negative
last...
side, magic resist is so valuable this game. Oh my god. I better see Merc Treads on every champion in this game, or else they're trolling.
Okay.
It'll be Twitch as the final pick for Meet the Coopers.
This is quite the interesting team comp, as I can only assume that it is a Rammus support in the bot lane here. So DVD pulling out some shenanigans once more and testing his limits. And
Important to note
where he can go.
that Twitch might have actually some good value this game. It kind of depends on how the team fights play out, but a lot of Win-Win's champions have to sort of walk through the whole team to get to fight. They sort of have to get close melee range, and if they want to get to the Twitch, they have to walk through Rammus and Mumu. So if Meet the Coomers can buy the space for Twitch, this pick could actually turn out to have some insane value this game.
That is true. However, it is also important to note, though, that the Seraphine ult on the side of Win does indeed pass through all those champions and extend its range, so it might be able to catch out the Twitch. Also, I guess it's important to watch for Mordekai's flash ult onto the Twitch, as he can deny the teamfight potential from Meet the Coomers immediately by just flash ulting the Twitch, and of course a lot of damage is lost. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Also, you know, he denies the frontline peel as soon as Twitch exits stealth, so that'll be interesting to see.
I think overall, I mean, I would give the draft edge, I think, slightly to Win, because we've seen so far that in our league, adaptation to build adaptation is something that our league sometimes struggles with. I think, however, if Meet the Coomers can adequately stack a load of magic resist, Win-Win's team comp actually starts to have a very tough time trying to execute whatever they want to do in the actual game.
Right, of course. Yeah, okay. Let's send it to break now, and we will catch you guys on the Rift in a few minutes. All right, welcome back to the Rift here of Game 1 of Day 4 of SMLCS Season 2. Here we have Win on the blue side and, of course, Meet the Coomers on the red side. And it is important to note that the Rammus pick has been swapped out for Karma because apparently Pro Draft will lock in a random champion if you didn't have the correct timing. So, of course, that is on Meet the Coomers. So we will wait and see what the league does with that later. And, of course, 5 point start for Meet the Coomers and Win will just stack the bush in the top side, waiting to see if potentially elongated girth will overextend himself for no reason and kill himself.
Yeah, I mean, Elongate Girth has really no reason to fate check this push. He won't win the level 1 against the Mordekaiser, so
Axrail walking up and taking tri-bush priority. Random warded ping out of Win. And perhaps they think now that the top side is warded, which is rather strange.
I think it'll be a pretty standard start for both teams. Important to note that actually with this Karma pick being the actual intended pick for Meet the Coomers, I do actually now slightly favor the Coomers draft over Win because I think it's much more standard and has decent enough appeal for the Twitch.
Right, yeah, there does seem to be more scaling synergy, and of course the engage with Karma ult on the shield for the side of Meet the Coomers will definitely allow a Mumu to be more aggressive and find the engages that he will likely need. Looks like some standard trading happening in the side lanes. Everyone's just farming up. Looks like something's happening on the top side. Just a standard trade. Both sides back off, lose half their health. Relatively standard.
It looks like for both junglers it will be a full clear bot side into top side take. Not exactly surprised given the nature of the champions that they're playing. I do think that for the early parts of this laning phase, though, Johnson Bud V2 will have most of the priority in this lane, so Admiral Bishop should feel at least partly comfortable trying to tango for this top grab.
Of course. It is interesting to note here, though, that TJ in the cut has opted for the tier start on Ezreal, so it's going to be losing a bit of the early kill pressure he will have up on the Twitch here. So looks like they are just playing for scaling. I don't know if that is the right call versus a Twitch lane, as you do have considerable strength early if you started Dorn's Blade into this matchup. So interesting to see how that'll play out in the mid game.
Admiral Bishop actually making a pretty good call here. Despite having mid lane prio, he sees that his top lane is actually getting pushed in quite heavily, and Mordekaiser does do, I think, a little bit better in early skirmishes than the Vladimir. So because of that, he makes the intelligent decision to actually move to the bot side instead and make sure that he can secure at least one of the two scuttles instead of none.
Right, very smart decision making here, although it looks like he will go for an invader or drop a few wards in the bot side jungle, but of course there are no camps up. Big Boss here losing out quite hard on a trade. He is fighting a lot of these trades 1v2 for some reason. Could use a bit more help from his support here in the trades, but he is getting caught out by the Seraphine route, so that is on him, of course.
I think Admiral Bishop taking a quick peek into the enemy jungle should at least tell them that you know that their Udyr, as expected, took a complete full clear and now should be wrapping back around to some of his bot side camps, which will be respawning.
Right. There is a bit of odd positioning going on in the bot lane, though. It does not appear that they're playing very parallel. It's always Big Boss with his foot up front and DVD sitting behind him a bit. You know, Karma is a poke support. It'd be nice to see a bit more coordination and playing up farther from him.
So I think Admiral Bishop actually correctly reading this play that Shaw is more than likely to go for a bot lane game on this timing and is there for the counter if need be.
Right, well played, and looks like they will just read each other and Well, Admiral Bishop will take the base. Elongated Girth force a burn flash there in a trade, as Axriel did find the grab onto him.
I don't know if he needed to flash there. I think he might have just been okay walking out. He might be a little bit lower than he is now, but he could have just taken the base
Right.
and then TP'd back, given that they should know that there is no chance for Sean to be on the top side of the map.
Of course, I do think I probably made a mistake there, slip of the tongue. Did I say Admiral Bishop? I meant to say Axrail. I think I said Admiral Bishop.
Well, it's fine.
It doesn't matter. You know what I'm talking about. The top laner, you know? Udyr doesn't have... Like, it's okay, it's okay. They're not even on the same team. I was gonna say Udyr doesn't have a grab, thinking that he was a jungler, and then I realized he's actually on the opposite team. That's some quality casting. Wednesday night, everyone.
Well, small mistakes aside, you see John Spokito has a very effective lane hold going here and is denying Jackstar quite a bit of minions.
Alright, he does have the level 6 advantage, so he may call for Shaw to help break this freeze, although it isn't actually a freeze, the minions are slow pushing, so can't wait to see what happens here, although Shaw does make his way down to the mid lane here. Positioned for a gank, Johnson but V2 silenced, unable to pull immediately, but pulls after. Bear stance doesn't quite find the stun, but it would have been interesting to see how that played out if a flash stun was in store.
Good temperament from Shaw not to try flash stun the Vladimir under tower. I think that would have been a little scary and kind of hard to execute at that moment, especially with Admiral Bishop so close.
It looks like it will be Meet the Coomers though with the river priority as bot lane is pushed in. Shaw and Torture Ball's forced to give up the area there. So we'll see if they attempt to dragon soon, as mid lane does have priority as well. However, actually, did the Elongated Girth walk all the way back? Because he didn't expend TP.
He must have, yeah. He must have.
Yeah, I guess he just walked all the way back. Well, of course, Axrael exerting a lot of pressure up here in the top lane. Herald will be up in 18 seconds. Ultimate comes out. Death Realm is found. And so does Elongated Girth find the ultimate onto Axrael, but he is losing the trade as Mordekaiser is just significantly stronger at these early levels, and also with the tier 2 boots, reducing the damage from autos and Qs from the Yone there won't be enough.
Yeah, just, you know, a fairly easily executed solo kill in the top side by Axrael, given, you know, he's Mordekaiser, and Elongated Earth is playing really getting Yone into Mordekaiser with played a steel cap, so it was always going to be very difficult. Nonetheless, well played, and he takes a free play in the top side, and it's pretty much what we said, you know, very stable bot lane matchup with a strong top side focus, given we know that Axrael has the ability to get ahead in these matchups.
Right. Well, at this point, you know, Axrael is rotating back onto the map. There are no wards on the top side, so maybe we see a potential Herald play after the wave is pushed in from Elongated Girth, as there is quite a big wave stacked up there. And also mid, of course, has priority with the Vladimir pick of the extra range and phase rush.
I think it'll be a little bit too difficult now. The Mordekaiser feels a little bit too strong for them to be trying to engage in an early skirmish.
Right, it does look like though that Yone is caught between an Udyr and he is flashless, but does find the Q knockup. Excellent use of Mortal Steel there to get him out.
Yeah, we're just seeing a lot of now topside focus after that solo kill. Admiral Bishop, seeing the jungler topside, immediately rotates to the dragon to try and take back something on the opposite side of the map.
Right, excellent punish from Meet the Coomers here. Oh, that was a close steal actually. If Admiral Bishop for some reason felt like smiting early, you know, that would have gone over to win-win-win.
Johnson V2 exerting a lot of pressure in this mid matchup.
Right, I honestly am not sure why they let the pick through. I really don't think it was worth it. Elongated Girth here, forced to expend ultimate again in an attempt to escape, but doesn't find it all the way through, but he does walk out anyway. He does have flash advantage, so probably would not have went down anyway there.
I think maybe now,
Oh,
maybe I think the best call for now is to, oh, as you see, a little bit of a love tap mid.
oh, counter gank from Admiral Bishop does find the Curse of the Sad Mummy onto Shaw. He is 2 HP. And of course, Johnson V2 with the Flash E to finish up the kill. Trade going on in the bot lane. Big Boss does flash and sacrifices the board here, and of course goes down anyway. Flash from TJ in the cut does find the kill. All summoners expended on the side of Meet the Coomers bot lane, and TJ in the cut forced to expend 2 of his own, and of course the Ignite did come out from Torture Balls there.
I'm curious as to how Meet the Coomers were forced into an engagement like that in the bot side, but we do see a trade of kills ultimately in Win-Win's favor across the map. Good counter gank there from Admiral Bishop to cover Johnson V2, as he was absolutely steamrolling mid lane and having so much pressure over this Ascent. As you see, Death Realm used in the top lane.
Yep, elongated Girth, you're trying to buy as much time as possible with his E, and looks like it will actually keep him alive as he used it to dodge the Q from Mordekaiser, and that'll keep him alive. Uh-oh, Ezreal. Barrage does not find the target. Axial perhaps walking up a bit too far and scaring him off? Who knows? But excellent decision making on the part of Elongated Girth here.
Yeah, I think before that whole sequence of events started, I was going to say that it might have been better for Elongated Girth to take an earlier bait and just expend his TP then, so that he was full HP in front of the Mordekaiser instead of just under half. Because being just under half in front of the Mordekaiser is a little scary, especially given how far ahead he is.
Yeah, of course, but you know, he gambled and he won. So he gets to teleport back and miss none of the waves. So excellent move on that part. Looks like it will just be Shaw attempting the Herald here in the top lane as more traits happen down here. Of course, TJ now with the Sheen does hurt a lot more, so DVD may not be you know, benefiting as much from these trades, as trading Q for Q is probably not worth it anymore.
Big chunk in the top side. I think that's actually probably the most correct play you could hope for.
Oh no, DVD is caught out again, but the last Q from TJ in the cut won't find him. Admiral Bishop lands Curse of the Sad Mummy onto 2 and will take down TJ in the cut as he did expend E to get in. Torture Balls here, barely finding the E onto DVD, and it will be a play in the top lane. Elongated Girth running for his life. He already set down his E, so there is no use. Johnson V2 with the late TP, trying to salvage what he can and stop the Herald push, but Jaxel Star will match.
Yeah, so cross map play unfolds between the two teams as Big Box is the benefactor of 2 kills, as DVD roll piece disconnects and reconnects.
Pause is in place, but Johnson V2 and the tier 2 top lane turret on the side is under fire, and the play will resume. And looks like the top side for Win will just back off here as the game freezes once more.
So I was going to mention that Torture Balls managed to actually skim a kill off of DVD World Peace just at the end of that play, to actually make it at least somewhat beneficial for the bottom side of the map as they get ganked there. The Twitch is ahead, which is, you know, that is important for their team composition, and so is the Vladimir. So the carries they want to be ahead for their late game insurance are ahead. It's just that the Mordekaiser is also disgustingly strong.
I'm really worried though for this Twitch pick, as I do think he's very vulnerable to the Mordekaiser. A flash ultimate from the Mordekaiser can definitely turn the tide of the fight here if he does catch the Twitch after he comes out of stealth. So I really don't know if, you know, this is the right call here, as he does forego the early Mercurial Scimitar, perhaps going for 2 items before he picks up the Quicksilver Sash.
I think given I think that is a mistake here, given Big Boss should be aware that they're going to be skirmishing very soon as 5, like both teams. So he knows that if he's even remotely close to the Mordecai, he's just going to get flash ulted. And if he doesn't have Q assist to get out of it, a lot of their damage is going to be gone.
Right, at this point, the Vladimir is only one item. He is not as strong as he'd probably like to be, so he definitely cannot command the fight as well. Of course, win with priority here in the bot side river will likely start the dragon. Big Boss is scouting in with his stealth, but likely he can't contest, and I don't think Meet the Kumas are willing to put in the resources either.
I think Mitokuma should have been a little bit more decisive about giving that up. You could have had elongated grip in the top side a lot faster, just to kind of get him a little bit back into this game with as many minions and experience as humanly possible while Win decides to go for the second dragon.
Right, Jackal star 1 here. Good trade against Johnson, but V2, and it looks like Elongated Girth will be forced again to leave the top side. At this point, Axrael can likely just freeze on him for a lot of the game, completely shutting the Yone out even further, so that's likely what we'll see. The Yone pick is kind of just wandering around the topside jungle, not much to do, but it will be Johnson but V2 activating Hemo Plague, but will not find the full engage, even with Phase Rush. Kassadin is just too slippery with the Rift Walk. DVD World Peace looking for an engage. The E tether breaks immediately. Torture Balls misses both CC components, and Big Boss will just clean up the kill.
I think actually very good, very well played by Big Boss to keep walking towards the tower and away from the Seraphine ult, to accurately dodge out on that and make sure that he could finish off the kill on Torture Balls, and that's just the clean 2v2 kill on the bottom side.
Right, that was very good, a lot of good follow-up from Big Boss there, as Axel does make his way down to the mid lane and does find Johnson, but V2 holding on to the pull, but will not use it, although it was possible to use it there as the choke by the tower, but does just kind of hang on to it.
Some good discipline from Johnson Bud V2, holding onto the pool as long as possible to use it at the most opportune time.
Right, although it looks like he will face check into Shaw here. Stun lands, and so does the pull. Pool comes out, and so does the ultimate from the Amumu, and it will be him walking away just fine. Although Axrael is able to find the death roam onto the jungler here, as he will just slowly chew away at the health bar of Admiral Bishop. And the heal goes to the wrong target, so they will trade kill. Nice try from Big Boss there, but unfortunately the heal does find itself on Johnson, but V2. And another engage might happen here, as Big Boss is spotted out by the random Seraphine E.
I think very important for that fight to note is that Johnson Bud V2 was the person who ended up getting the kill on Axrael, and now was managed to take away his 150 gold bounty. So that's even more gold in the Vladimir's pocket to accelerate his scaling even more. And I would have liked to see Meet the Kumas collapse a little bit earlier onto the Death Realm. Axrael was all alone, and I think they could have gotten there a little bit faster without having to sacrifice Admiral Bishop for the play.
For sure, the bot lane could have definitely positioned more aggressive there, as Johnson Bud V2 was low. Elongated Girth first burn flash here, expending both E and ultimate, perhaps trying to bait Shaw away, but he'll have none of that. Waits by the E's cast location and will just clean up the kill. Very well played from Shaw.
A little strange to have Elongated Girth flash and then try and E-ult in the opposite way away from here. I think he could have definitely gotten away with the ulti, but...
Right, another trade in the bot lane here. Admiral Bishop will eat a lot of Qs from TJ in the cut, and of course, will he find the last Q here onto Big Boss? No, he won't, but Big Boss will have the poison burnout on Torture Balls. Flash expended from both AD carries here, and Admiral Bishop, of course, still has Flash, but Shaw is around. Will he try the tower dive 1v3? Tether does find him. Big Boss also finds the slow, so it looks like the tower dive will be called off, and Admiral Bishop will make it to safety here.
I think the call should just be to reset from Meet the Kumas. There's no reason you have to defend this tower, especially when you're in potential danger. Actually, unless Shaw just decides to recall and not give his team an opportunity to collect this tower.
Of course, Johnson, but V2 eating a lot of damage from the Mordekaiser here. Not sure how to respond, as he is still not yet fully scaled, and the Mordekaiser is significantly scarier with the Riftmaker buffs.
Well, QSS picked up for Twitch not too long ago, so that does make him, a little bit less of a juicy
Root
target.
found onto DVD here. Axrail does have the Death Realm, but does not commit it yet, as an impending fight is coming out. TP committed from Elongated Girth, but Johnspot V2 is caught out here. Pools early, and Shot does find the flash stun, and it will be the kill for Jackalstar, as Hemoplague is also expended there. Oh, that was a lot of resources coming out of Johnspot V2, just still to go down anyway. It looks like it will be another drag for win-win-win here.
What was unfortunate is that Elongated Girth uses teleport very early, so that as DD World Peace gets taken into the Death Realm.
Although it will look like he just will run away with the speed of W and tier 2 boots. He will find safety in his own team. Axrail, good call not to overcommit and chase.
A little bit unfortunate that Elongated Girth TP'd early, because now he could not collect any of that wave topside and get any tower damage. And this Yone just falling further and further behind.
Right, it is an unfortunate pick here. I don't know if it was the right call. Ornn was left open. There were plenty of tanks that would be significantly more useful in this position, as he was up against, knowingly, Axrail on a very practiced pick in the Mordekaiser, so perhaps it was not the right call to pick Yone into it. Of course, the Mordekaiser not taking a lot of damage from the Twitch, although QSS is picked up now, so there is no threat of the Death Realm anymore.
Looks like Win is going to reset their lane allocations. That's a lot of damage.
Yeah. Oh, Admiral Bishop does find the flash bandage toss onto Torture Balls, and an ultimate will come out, but cooldown not actually expended on the side of Torture Balls, but that was an excellent play, excellent read from Admiral Bishop there. Getting a bit of extra gold onto his Yone here, trying to get him back into the game.
Yeah, it was really important to try and keep this Yone as relevant as possible, especially given how far behind he is.
Right. He will scale up eventually, though, and he is getting closer to his mythic, so looks like it will just be a continuous 2v1 in the bot lane, though. I'd like to see DVD World Peace here move around the map a bit more. He can probably leave his Twitch down here safely, as, you know, the Twitch does have access to the QSS now, so he should not be he shouldn't get picked by the Mordekaiser. There's no world where that should happen, ideally.
Ideally. I think maybe, though, if Axrail understands the potential immediacy for the QSS, it might actually not be a bad idea for him to...
Admiral Bishop here, not in a good spot. Chem Tank expended by a shot, and he does find the stun. Admiral Bishop missing the bandage toss crucially, and will go down to TJ and to cut. Ultimate is expended, though, from Torture Balls here.
Admiral Bishop in a really weird position with, no vision on 4 out of their 5 members, so he just gets caught out in the jungle really randomly, which gives Win an opportunity to siege mid.
Right, of course. You know, if DVD had been moving across the map more with his support item, he probably would have been able to find more wards there to, you know, keep his jungler informed and alive. So unfortunately that isn't there, as he is just going to sit bot lane and babysit his carry, but, you know, now he's moving around.
What I was going to mention before that well-played pick onto Admiral Bishop by Win is that Axrail might actually want to play this instead, where he ults the Twitch, waits for the QSS, and then uses his pull afterwards, so that he's in melee range anyway, despite using the QSS.
Right, of course. However, I don't know if that completely negates the damage potential, as, you know, the Twitch ultimate does allow for penetration auto attacks, so it won't technically negate it. Oh, Elongated Girth here, forced to flash again, and is caught out once more. Shield, though, is procced, but he will go down.
Shaw's finding some really interesting angles through pockets of vision on just the entirety of Meet the Coomers, as he's now walking topside to try and get lane.
Oh no, Johnspot V2, he does expend Hemoplague and the pool a bit early. Jackalstar with a very well-timed Zhonya's Hourglass will dodge the damage. However, Admiral Bishop is here to respond, so Shaw has to respect it, and a flash Tides of Blood will find him, although Big Boss under tower, not quite eating too much damage. Axel will miss another Q and forced to blow Flash to get himself out. DVD World Peace with the random Shirelia's Reverie and will just, I guess, chase Axel to his tower. A bit late there with the Shirelia's kind of a strange call, but the thought is there.
Really well played there, actually, from Johnson Boat V2 to buy as much time as possible for Admiral Bishop to go up and sway 2v1 into the 2v2 as he just completely outplays them and manages to get a pick. Also, nice sidesteps by Big Boss, knowing that he's not in too much trouble from Axel if he's able to dodge out some of the key abilities as they start up the next dragon.
Right, TJ in the cut, probably looking for a Q here. Oh, will just barely find it, as actually the expunge from Twitch will take the kill.
Admiral Bishop, Balls of Steel, not using his smite.
That is true. Shaw doesn't really find a pick here, as Twitch does have access to stealth, and he will just wait in the bush here, perhaps for a setup. And of course Shaw's too fast with the Udyr. He won't be able to keep the tether on him for long. And Axrael here finding another death drop on the elongated girders, but Torture Balls mistiming the ultimate, won't find anything at all with it. And Axrael actually surprisingly losing the 1v1, but of course coming out of Death Realm with this team will find another. And Flash Stun from Shaw will also find the Twitch in the bot lane. Johnson put V2 late with the TP here, but will trade a return kill and another. Both ultimates expended from the mid laner and the jungler here from Meet the Coomers, but excellent response on the play, although a tad bit late.
So map-wise, it's a 2 for 2, evening it out, but it is important to note that the Vladimir's TP was used to counter that play in the bot side. I'm unsure as to how they managed to get themselves caught off guard by 2 melee champions when they should have been able to space themselves around it, but nonetheless, given this opportunity, Meat will move into the top side of the jungle and start clearing out some of the vision around Baron, just to prevent any sort of surprises from win-win-win.
It is important to note, though, as well, that Big Boss, a big damage dealer for his team, is down both summoner spells for this Baron dance if it were to happen about now. Torture Balls is spotted out in the bot side jungle and will face check sort of into the Vladimir.
Twitch picking up the red for this mid hold. It's a bit risky sending the Vladimir bot side, given that he is probably by far their strongest member, given enough time. And now he's on the opposite side of the map from the Baron, whereas both of the solo laners on the side of Win-Win-Win have their TPs.
Of course, yeah, Jackalstar probably playing the macro here a lot better than his opponent. Honestly, Elongated Girth should probably be down there, but of course, Death Realm will trade with the Yone ultimate here, and not much will happen as Field Bow does keep them alive long enough, but not quite. Last Q here, waited out for the Yone E, will find him. And Axrael gets another kill in the top lane here. Of course, Win-Win-Win poised very well at this point in order to pressure and take the Baron, but unfortunately Shaw and Jackalstar 1 are in the bot lane. Johnson but V2 gets himself out of there with the recall, so no dive will be there.
I'm starting to question whether it's worth continuing to just alt or use Death Realm on the Yone. It feels at this point that it's actually not even worth it, given how far behind he is, as Admiral Bishop goes for an engage.
But of course DVD is quick to follow up with the Shirelias this time, and Big Boss will be caught by the Edo and eat a solo Q, but of course he will go, Axel will go down as he is biting off a bit more than he can chew here. Ultimate from Seraphine does find John Split V2 Hemoplague onto 1 in the support, and of course a bit of miscalculation there on his own damage. Will get taken down by TJ in the cut. Big Boss here opening up with the Sewer Skewers, but won't find much here. Elongated Girth looking for the chase kill, but of course will just get stunned up by Shaw. Not much to find.
It's like everybody is misplaying now. Johnson but V2 doesn't really edge out TJ in the cut on the ultimate, so he doesn't get any damage on him whatsoever. Torture Balls is able to ignite him to cut the healing, and he isn't able to completely one-shot them as much as he wanted, as Immortal Shield Bow is proc for Elongated Earth, giving him even less survivability than normal. And then following that, there was a potential for a re-engage, and then a misplayed re-engage on the side of Meet the Coomers.
Right. Definitely there isn't much chase potential between the Yone without ultimate, the Twitch, and the Karma. A lot of it rests in the CC brought by the Yone ult, but of course, it isn't there, so there will be no pick. As Seraphine can match the move speed from the Karma shield for a little bit, as they are just both decaying movement speed buffs, so they will trade those evenly and not much will happen.
We're getting a really big fight here for each team's potential third dragon. I mean, they're gonna have to move in here.
Of course, TP expended by the Yone. Admiral Bishop does find the engage, but will only find the ultimate onto one in Torture Balls. Axrael finding the ultimate onto Admiral Bishop. They're trying to buy time for each other. Johnson but V2 will dive the backline into support alone, but leave his own backline open, and TJ and Jackalstar will just cut through them. And of course, the Amumu leaving the Death Realm. Last out the door, last to die. And
Yeah,
that will be a brawling ace for the side of win-win-win.
And they just funneled into the corridor versus Seraphine, given that they had like no vision to make any sort of approach from another angle. So Win-Win accurately capitalized, and just given the fact that Meet the Coomers were just stacked on each other, it didn't really matter what they did, given how much damage they did.
Right, of course. I do think though that Big Boss perhaps misplayed there a bit, coming out of stealth a bit early to focus down Axrael on the Mordekaiser, because he can just buy more time by ulting, and of course then Big Boss loses aggro on the Twitch, and now he's exposed, and he doesn't have any summoners, and of course he's out of stealth already, so at this point he's just another mobile AD carry, free for Jackalstar and TJ to just jump on. So of course, there's not much he can do there, so perhaps a bit of a misplay on that front. And also, Johnson but V2 also funnels in with his team. I do think he probably could have looked for a flank from the other river entrance, so, another potential play missed there.
So now, given that Win-Win has the Baron buff, they're going to look to try and pressure the mid lane, given that top lane is a little bit harder to pressure for how long the lane is now, given that both towers have gone down. So now we're just kind of thinking that Win-Win, despite having the Baron buff, they're going to have to look for some sort of a pick or a team fight, given how tough it is for them, because their waves aren't exactly fixed for this Baron push.
Right, it is also important to note that the Kassadin is level 16 now, very commanding mid laner here, fully skilled 3 items now. He is looking for a pick in the enemy jungle, although will not find any, as they'll just kind of play around and take the camps instead.
As I said, it looks like Win-Win is stacking in the top side, trying to look for this push on this long lane and trying to potentially come to the first inhibitor.
Right, of course, Johnson but V2 here will move to the bot lane to match the Mordekaiser, as he's likely the only one who can at this point. Oh, DVD World Peace overextending again, and will go down to the level 16 Kassadin. Oh, no Axrael here, though. Oh, Bandage Toss does not find its mark, though, but he is stunned up under tower by Cursed Sad Mummy, but he will find an ultimate onto Admiral Bishop, buying a bit more time for his team. And he will go down, though. Hemoplague is expended, though, but Jackalstar will find the solo kill here onto Elongated Girth in the top lane, and they do give up.
He is scaled.
Yeah, he is definitely scaled. Shaw here playing for the inhibitor, and of course Meet the Coomers looking to play and stop him here, but of course Jackalstar will expend ult and flash here, securing another kill onto the jungler. And it will be double in here for Win-Win. Yeah, this honestly,
they could probably go for the end here, but it looks
honestly,
like
yeah,
looks like Win-Win will take the much safer going ball lane and taking as much as they can. But honestly, they
probably could have played and waited the 13 seconds for Axrael's TP with the desync death timer on Admiral Bishop. They probably could have taken a 5v4 in that moment and then just won, as they did have access to Seraphine ult as well at that moment. So, perhaps a bit of a an incorrect call here. It's not optimal, but they will just extend the game. However, they are buying more time for Meet the Coomers to scale a bit further.
I mean, at this point, it's kind of just a waiting game because Kassadin is so skilled right now that pretty much the only person who can ever hope to match him is the Vladimir. But because the Vladimir doesn't exactly have any resistances against the Kassadin, it's more of a who can one-shot who faster. But they
Yeah,
both have
but
Zhonya's, so
I definitely favor Kassadin though in the who can one-shot each other faster, as also the Kassadin does indeed have a 10-stack Magi's to a 2-stack Dark Steel as well. But uh, I do believe the Kassadin is definitely more threatening as well because he's harder to pin down, and of course the ability to pick your fights this late into the game is definitely one that is significantly more valuable than just a bit of extra AoE in my opinion. Although he will take the 1v2 here, perhaps a bit of a misplay, but ultimately Seraphine ult saves him, but it buys just a bit of time but won't find anyone. The TP does come through though for elongated girth, and Big Boss here on the flank, perhaps overexerting himself a bit. Oh, Admiral Bishop will miss the bandage toss and will get ulted by Axriel, but a huge ultimate from elongated girth will find a few, but it ultimately will take down some, but not enough. Jackal Star into the back line, barely takes down DVD with him, but of course Shaw and Axel will have enough damage here for Johnson, but forced to zone his early. Buy time for Pool. Of course, Shaw will find another stun and run, and it will be the kill, and it will be another Brawl Light Ace for the side of win-win-win, and it looks like he will go for the end with the TP here.
I mean that was about as good as it was gonna get for Meet the Coomers. We saw it just was enough given from how far behind they were. Looks like win-win-win will claim this win against Meet the Coomers.
What a game! Even with the Karma swap and the mispick and draft, looks like it didn't matter too much in the end. Um, Honestly, that was very well played on the side of win-win-win. They definitely played to their win conditions, significantly better than Meet the Coomers were able to. And I really think the Mordekaiser pick this time, it bought a lot of room for the Ezreal definitely, and bought a lot of time, more importantly, for the Kassadin to scale. Definitely had a good transition there from the mid game for sure, and able to stall out for his level 16 power spike. And of course, at that point, the Twitch might as well be a non-factor, even with the QSS for the Mord ultimate. The ability for Jackal Star 1 to pick his fights with the Rift Walk definitely sealed the deal for the game, I'd think.
Yeah, I think that was very well executed by win-win-win. They were able to sort of do what we expected them to do and what other teams should be expecting them to do based on who is on this team. And despite Meet the Coomers having a decent shot with the Vladimir and Twitch scaling, the execution of Team Ice was ultimately too difficult for them to try and overcome that very large gold deficit. And eventually, Win-Win was just able to clean it out very nicely with a soul take into the end.
Right. See, what when the thing is, right? Team fights often, I feel like they played their team fights incorrectly on the side of Meet the Coomers. Is a lot of times it would look like, the problem I would say was the front line, more importantly, as the thing is with Twitch, what you want to do is you kind of just want to remain in stealth, right? And then wait for the enemy to blow their key cooldowns on the front line, so then you can just come out and spray and pray everyone. But of course, that didn't really get to happen this time, as the front line could just get easily ulted and taken into the death realm by Axrail. So then without the front line, of course, even when you come out of stealth, you're immediately the key target for the enemy team. And of course, with the scaled Kassadin, it's very unlikely you are gonna survive, even with Flash and a Karma at your back, because the Kassadin himself is backed by his own Seraphine to match, so the increased move speed and damage there. So that's quite unfortunate.
Yeah, they just couldn't muster the win, but we'll have to see how they adapt for their next match later on.
Right, of course. Moving on to game two, though. Damon versus Barspitter Gaming. Can't wait to see that one. We will send it to a break now. All
All
right,
right. We're starting a little bit way into the draft as Damon needs to ban Squeaky.
right,
Kind of
right.
understandable.
It's a good ban. It's a good ban. Of course, Yorick ban on Togman. Very well, very well. A Yasuo ban for Hasaki here, I can only assume, as his name is a famous Yasuo line. Oh, but it looks like the draft is frozen, so you can't see it. But Damon Gaming has banned out the Yasuo. And of course, the Yorick ban and an Urgot ban from Barsplitter Gaming. You can't see it, but we'll tell you anyway. It's there. So of course, the Urgot shutting down Togman. The Pogman in the top lane is very important for their win condition in Pyro. So banning out these champions is a very good idea. Of course, Nautilus counterban from Damon Gaming in the bot lane, as Secret Age 001 has been shown to be very proactive on that pick.
Yeah, so it looks like Barcelona Games' strategy in this draft is easy to see. They're going to ban out Togman to give the best matchup possible, as Damon Gaming is trying to counterban the bottom side and kind of keep their advantages in their stable lanes where they can have them.
Right, of course, a Hecarim ban coming out of Barsplitter Gaming. I don't know if this is necessarily the right call, as Hecarim is definitely not in the best spot right now, although, of course, it is still one of the Chicken-Oke's practice champs. So, of course, it will be the Vigar first pick, Comfort being brought in for Turtle Tunes on the side of Damon Gaming.
It should just, I think, on the side of Barcelona Games, take an immediate counter pick or take the immediate mid pick and support pick for them as well. I think they should secure it first, so that Secret Age 001's picks don't get even more banned as we go on.
Definitely. It will be the Zed pick, though, for Hasaki in the mid lane. Of course, we have seen this matchup play out before.
And Dorlax is able to use the Zed to great effectiveness against the Vigar,
Right.
so I'm excited to see how this matchup is again.
Yeah, we'll see if Hasaki can live up to the same expectations.
It's the Leona pick.
As you predicted, that's a support pick and the mid pick on the side of Barsplitter. Interesting for the Leona to come out this early, but of course Blind Leona is still strong, as there aren't a lot of responses for it. Lee Sin on the side of Damon Gaming here, very strong early skirmisher, able to initiate fights. It's what we like to see from the Chicken OK, and of course this might be possibly, oh no, it's not top lane. Looks like Set will be locked in for the top lane unless it's Set support Lee Sin top, and I'm reading this entire thing wrong, but more than likely that's a Set top, right?
Well, I mean, we think, but the power of this rotation is that it is flexible. So Barcelona Games does not currently have enough information to say definitively where either of these champs are going, even if we can make a good guess that Lee Sin will probably be jungle.
Right, of course it will be the Misfortune Comfort pick locked in for Tone in the bot lane. Loving to see what he's able to do with this champion.
That's what I want to see right now. I think Barcelona Games should be targeting 80 carries right now.
For sure. Felios will be taken out for Delhi here in Damon Gaming. Of course, very, very practiced on the champ, although it may not be in the best spot. Well, the band's still technically hovering, but I'm just going to assume right now that it will go through. Of course, Delhi's status on his client, is indeed Moonman Pog. So
I would hope to see a Kaisa ban coming out from Barcelona Games. I think it should be the natural next ban, because if Damon Gaming wants to pick Samira into Leona, I mean, I would be totally fine with that, because that Samira is going to get the CT lock to high hell as soon as she tries to do anything. Right, so I would expect the Kaisa ban here from Barcelona Games.
Right, Jack's ban here from Damon Gaming, targeting Pyro on the top lane, buying Togman a bit of room for this set here, as Pyro does indeed have last pick counter pick, so gonna see how that plays out. And of course, as you predicted, it will be Kaisa and away from Delhi.
And then it will be the Udyr final ban. I am expecting their jungle pick right here. There are two melee champs on the other team, so we can maybe see Juno run back the Kayn. Elise is still open, actually, if he wants to run some AP damage.
I definitely think the Elise is definitely ideal here, as of course BSG is heavily... Oh, the Mordekaiser for the top lane. I was gonna talk about how they didn't have much AP, but the Mordekaiser, I guess, supplements that, and of course, remedies the problem of a full AD team. So that will be, chances are, Mordekaiser for Pyro in the top lane.
It looks like Judo wants to save his pick for last after seeing exactly what matchup he's going to be going into. It will be the Ezreal for Delhi this time around. And Seraphine locked in. Finally,
Right.
saving gaming support.
A repeat of the bot lane from the previous game of win-win-win. You know, a lot of Ezreal being picked up again with the Divine Sunder buffs, but I don't actually know if that will be enough to bump him up too much in the meta, but you know, it is there, and of course he did get the slight resistance buffs as well, and it will be a Lilia in response, actually. I don't know if Lily is the right call here, as of course, full clearing your jungle repeatedly has been nerfed,
it's not even that. I think Lilia into into Damon Gaming's comp is kind of difficult, right? Because Lilia needs to lock at them, and you have Seraphine and Baby Cage and Ezreal. So
right, of course, and
Damon
also
Gaming has a lot of zone control for Lilia to kind of willingly lock herself into.
Right, also, like, I don't know if it's a good idea to give up this much early skirmishing power to Elise, and I definitely think the Elise probably would have been a much better call, as you can definitely work with Pyro's Mordekaiser on the top side of the map to gain an early lead.
It also prioritizes, I'm going to say it again, Mercury Treads. That is a Leona Mordekaiser Lilia. So if I'm the top laner here, I am for sure buying Mercury Treads. That is double AP to Inatu and to Leona. You couldn't get more benefit from Mercury Treads if you tried.
That is true. Yeah. Yeah, okay, let's send it to a break now. We will be on the Rift shortly. Yeah, okay. And we are back onto the Rift of Game 2 of Season 2 of Week 2 of SML. So wait, it was Day 4, my bad. I saw the Week 2 at the bottom. But yeah, Day 4, technically speaking. Damon Gaming on the blue side, Bar Spitter on the red, and it looks like it will be a standard 5-point start on the side of Damon. And looks like we have an AFK member on Bar Spitter as the Zed will just sit there in spawn.
Okay, and while both teams are doing their
30
5-point
seconds
starts, let's
till
take a quick
minions
peek
spawn.
into the matchups. Pogman actually running the Grass of the Undying into Pyro's Mordekaiser, which, I mean, it does give you tankiness in the long run, but I actually think Conquer is just so good on set that what you're giving up in exchange is just
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. The passive on set with, you know,
Minions have
the
spawned.
double punch, like it allows him to actually stack Conqueror significantly faster at early levels. So you look for all-ins a lot earlier, which what makes him a lot stronger and allows him to actually take what was it, Facebreaker? Yeah, his Facebreaker level 1 and allow you to still successfully win trades and even look for early kills because you're able to rope your enemy back in with the Facebreaker and just continuously pummel them and stack Conquer. So going with the Grasp means he will be looking for shorter trades, which I don't know if is the right call. And also it appears he's AFK and not walking to his wave. He's just watching the entrance. So the set will get to the top lane late, handing over free priority early and giving the push over to Pyro.
I also want to point out that Juno is running the Predator this time, which does actually combat a little bit of, as there's a trade in the top lane. Predator does combat some of the problems that we had pointed out in draft about Lilia, given that her effectively running into the C-Pop is going to be a little bit hard. So Predator does give her a little extra mobility, a little extra movement speed, so that she still has to run into the enemy comp, but it should be a little bit safer.
Right. Oh, I would like to note though that up in the top lane, the set did indeed tank the entire Mordekaiser passive, and they traded abilities, of course, in the earlier trade, and set did not use the grasp auto, and he almost still won the early trade anyway. So if he just took Conquer, he would have just kept on trading and probably won.
We'll see how many QSSs get built. We got a really movie skin in this game. Very well designed, but you take QSS and all that hard work goes to pretty much nothing. But that's fine.
It will look like Juno here is poised for an early gank. Turtle Tunes blows the baby cage early, but will walk out alive. No ignite expended from Hasaki. And of course, Turtle Tunes will hang on to his life without blowing flash either. It looks like there may be a little jungle skirmish for this crab. Actually, no, looks like Juno will just give it up as he does understand the early skirmishing power of this Lee Sin, and he will look for a top gank instead.
I want to note that there was a bit of a ball lane 2v2 going on here, as we see Juno show up on the top side. Below Togman's flash. There was a bit of a ball lane skirmish where Tonin and Steven were dealing really, really low. So, as expected, this lane should have a lot of priority.
Right, of course, Hasaki there missing the double Q. For shame. Oh no, and now the Fires walk away completely unpunished from being overextended there in the lane. Quite unfortunate.
Looks like the Chicken OK will totally be able to get a double crab here as Juno is visiting the top lane again.
Oh no, Hogman here, no flash to follow Pyro, and it looks like BSG Juno will show up first to the top lane, keeping his laner alive. He's able to just, absorb the wave and chase Hogman to his death here as Hasaki is on his way up now to pick up the free kill, perhaps. Oh, what's
Oh my
gonna
god,
happen?
guys.
No
Oh
way! He's
my
actually
god.
able to teleport out! There is no CC between these two members!
No.
For shame!
No.
Hogman, excellent read on the play, able to dodge the Swirl Seed and the Zed, and it teleports out! Come on!
No, please, as there is a ball lane 2v2 going on. Oh my,
Oh, and
my.
of course, the trade actually goes to the side of Damon Gaming as Turn eats a, is it still called Essence Flux? The Ezreal W, or did they change that name as well?
I
with
don't
when
know,
they
but
changed
he eats a
his
bunch of
essence.
return damage from the Ezreal, and they lose the trade. That
Right,
was
of
so
course.
sad to watch, man. I can't believe this happened.
Also, Pyro here, perhaps incorrectly making the call to freeze the wave instead of just hard pushing it, as they somehow did. Perhaps he doesn't know that Togman expended TP there to leave.
I mean, I don't think they had any vision in the reverse. They could maybe have just thought that he walked out, but
But they did have the sweeper on him, right? Like,
the sweeper ran out before he started channeling his teleport.
yeah, but like they should have seen him at the edge of the bush on the right side, no? And at that point, the Zed was already moving up.
He walked to the other side of the red. That's why. He went to the opposite side of the red, so that it took too long for him to get close. But anywho, that was tragic. But we're gonna keep going. And oh my! Targon's charge missed on the cannon in the bottom lane.
Oh, it
Oh,
will
is
be.
there in mid?
Oh,
Oh, okay.
looks like Hasuki will expend Ignite and the ultimate on Turtle Tunes and will find nothing, not even a flash, as he's able to just walk out alright. Looks like Pyro and the Chicken OK will be just trapped in the death realm for a few minutes, enjoying the nice animations together, just sitting around, not much to see, and he will come out, and Togman will find the Facebreaker stun, but not much will happen, just another short trade, I guess.
Okay, well, you know, just a couple misplays across the map going on here. But, you know, SMLCS, high pressure situation. It's to be expected, I guess.
Right, of course, Turtle Tunes will expend TP here to get back to the mid lane, as Zed does get the priority from, of course, you know, ulting his lane opponent, and he's able to walk down and help the Lilia secure the dragon, although it didn't look like the bot lane with priority knew anyway, so it probably didn't matter too much.
Hey, this Zed pick's looking pretty useful here. I don't know, it's looking like it's getting a lot of pressure to help out his jungler. I think right now, the bot lane is just biding their time to level 6, and they will absolutely just dump all of their damage on the Seraphina now. I think that's what we're gonna see happen here.
Of course, Delhi is running low on mana here, so they probably are looking to take a base soon to pick up a Sheen and start getting towards the Divine Sunder. And chances are this Seraphine's going to be building a Moonstone, right? Just Moonstaff.
Interestingly enough, I do imagine it'll be the Divine Sunder, but I actually think the better leaders does play build, because BSG's comp is rather squishy. So the Essence Reaver build will actually, I think, do more damage in the long run, even if the Divine Sunder gives him a little bit more survivability.
Okay, well, looks like another trade will happen in the top lane. Short ultimate showstopper found by Togman, but not much will happen. They'll just trade evenly, I guess, and Togman will continue to push with the wave. You know, if he had Conquer, I really do think a lot of these longer trades and all-ins will definitely be swinging in his favor more, but, you know, maybe he's just looking to utilize the set passive because he doesn't like to lose, so the extra health there might help.
Yeah, I mean, given the situation we're on, we're definitely going to see the oh, as another trade goes on.
Oh no,
Oh.
this time it will be Togman caught in the death realm with no response. Has to expend Flash to try and buy some time, but he will get caught at the edge of the Mordekaiser Q, and that will be first blood. Awkward animation here with the Leona ultimate.
Oh
Kind of
my!
doesn't go through all the way, but they will blow everything, and they will find Turtle Tunes. Turtle Tunes here not flashing the Leona ultimate, perhaps a bit of a misplay there. And that will be a first kill on to Hasuki here.
And it's a solo bolo in the top side, followed by a really well-timed drone from One and a really complete combo. Juno does not have ult.
Yeah.
This, by the way, he used it in the mid play, so he's kind of just.
Comfortable land does find the ignite kill though with the shurikens. Well played combo from the Zed, lands double shurikens into the proc for electrocute. I was about to call it Thunderlord's Decree. And then dropping an ignite.
Yeah, it was the electrocute, I think, followed by Tonan's auto that ended up securing him the kill in that play. And just really good map play from Barca Games coming out in the last few minutes.
Right, of course, they're using the early tempo and pressure with the Leona and Zed to draw blood from Damon Gaming. Well played, and of course, they also did secure the early objective. Despite having the weaker early game jungler, having these winning lanes to support the Lilia, definitely turning it in the favor of Barspirit Gaming.
Zed is actually doing a really good job of being able to get the push onto the mid lane matchup, and actually is able to steam with some very nice roams. Very well played, Huskies, showing us that this matchup again is actually seemingly a pretty good one.
Right, it is a really nice Zed favored matchup. You know, the baby cage, unless it's landed directly onto the Zed, very difficult to lock down, you know, a mobile assassin like this and land all the skill shots required to take him down. So definitely this matchup is very heavily Zed favored. You know, perhaps it would do some good for Damon Gaming to expand the mid lane champion pool and play more than just immobile mages like Zed. I mean, like Pelkaz and Vigar against the Zed, and it will be a
Oh my!
TP that comes through, and looks like Deli will get caught here. Oh, the Ignite is ticking, but he does walk out alive. Of course, Death Realm is found on comfortable land, and there is no escape, and of course, with that, there was no exhaust in the Death Realm either to peel Deli, but of course it goes down as well played on the part of Secret Age, taking the initiative here and also knowing that the cleanse will not be up from Deli in this play, as it was used in the previous play earlier in the 4-man dive.
Yeah, really well coordinated play. You know, Pyro expends TP bot lane to get a kill and to force even more pressure bot lane. As you know, then rotates top to match, just to make sure that Togman doesn't get any unnecessary plates and to hold the wave there in a really good spot for Pyro when he returns. And this does mean that they're going to be giving up Dragon, but I mean, it is only second Dragon, so it's not exactly a huge loss.
Oh, no comfortable land, moving to help, and he does get caught out by Secret Age here, trading his life for a ward and also the jungle pressure. Perhaps the wrong call from the player here, and it looks like, oh, does Smite come through? No, it
Oh my!
doesn't, and the Dragon goes the way of BSG. A huge misplay from Damon Gaming here, sticking in the pit a bit too long without Smite. What? Why? And also
What
the
the
late
hell is
TP
going
from
on?
the top lane means that there will be no good response. Hasaki perhaps biting off a bit more he can chew here, finds the
Oh,
ultimate on Turtle
close.
Tunes, and he's able to take the return shadow as the baby cage goes down, so he's somehow okay.
Wow, so at the end of that whole thing, Tonen steals the dragon, Togman TPs, managed to secure a kill into Secret Age 001, comfortable and dies before that whole thing goes on, and meanwhile, Juno was able to secure the Rift Herald, and Empire was able to get even more solo time in it. Huge win for BSG despite losing that one kill, and wow, we got a banger game here.
Looks like draft matters not when you can just lane kingdom your opponents and bush camp them.
Yeah, who needs draft when you just play better, you know? So it looks like after all that constant action for the past little bit, it looks like things are going to be calming down a little bit as everyone returns back to their lanes. Divine Thunder picked up on the Ezreal, so he will be doing a little bit more damage. Conversely, Duskblade picked up by the Zed, so now that little bit of damage that he was missing on Turtle Tunes, if he should go for another all-in, it should be there. Zhonya's picked up by Juno, so he can go for a little bit more riskier flash ult plays.
Right, it is also important to note that the Rift Herald was picked up for Juno in that entire kerfuffle on the bot side of the map, as he was not present, so he was able to trade an objective for essentially his AD carry walking in for free and hitting the dragon and taking it.
So I think Juno should probably look to try and crack the top with the stick and the advantage even more. Although it looks like they're trying to go on in on Turtle Tunes yet again. Oh my
Solar
god!
Flare lands, and it will be another easy kill going the way of BSG.
And then he instantly rage quits. Unlucky.
There is no way that's a real rage quit, right? That has to be a disconnect by accident. It must be his brother tampering with his laptop. And yeah, there we go. The reconnect and the pause comes through. well, the pause is taking a bit here despite the reconnected Viger, so perhaps the players are discussing something? No, they're not. It looks like we'll move forward and that he disconnected after the death, so everything is fair.
Oh, nice showstopper back into the tower. Does not take tower aggro. Will then, you know, extend the trade because Conqueror noises. Harold used correctly here, I think, to break a tower of the fire, give him a little bit less space to work with than he was even before. He was just, you know, getting roamed on over and over again by the Leona.
Correct, yeah. Perhaps some missing pings missing in the bot lane. I don't think those plays should ever really work with like proper vision setup, you know, considering that you are on a team, you do have voice comms and missing pings.
Oh
Oh,
my
Flash,
Lord in heaven.
and Insect will find Tonin. Shut down onto Deli, although Chickenhawk does trade his life for this. Ultimate does come out from Juno, but won't find anything. Solar Flare onto comfortable land, taking damage. Secret Age walking up ahead alone. The Zed is on his way, fighting in the wave.
What the
Deli
hell is
finds
even
another,
happening?
and now he will try and melee fight the Leona while kiting backwards, but the Zed is here and will not find any Qs at all onto Deli, but he still goes down.
Wow.
Well played, trading his life for 3 members there in the long run. Very well played from Deli, and good flash play from comfortable land, buying a bit of extra time as well by cutting back into the wave. Chicken okay, wonderful insect there with the flash, but you know, he does end up eating all the safety.
So kind of not worth, by the way, because they spend literally everything for a play that is so risky for no reason. I mean,
That is true. Drag comes up after the fact, and now they're missing key cooldowns to secure that. But at least, you know, it gave us something to cast, and I will be thankful for that. That was really
yeah,
cool.
you know, Uchino did a little bit misplay there. He missed the swirling seed on the stun target, so he wasn't able to pick up that kill a lot faster, which gave Deli a lot more free time to hit. And again, you know, I can't help but wonder the lack of resistances that maybe an Essence Group or Dustblade would be doing a lot more damage in this situation.
It is important to note that Divine Sunder, a lot of its damage comes from, of course, the health pool and not actually the resistances of the opponent you're fighting. So the fact that the Leona's tankiness comes from, well, resistances and not just a ton of extra bonus health really only means that you're getting a lot of value from the Divine Sunder when fighting the Mordekaiser, which hasn't really occurred yet. So perhaps Divine Sunder not the best investment, and perhaps more so just chasing a trend because that got buffed and so did Ezreal.
Well, I think currently Barcelona Games is currently chasing a 23-minute soul, which would be absolutely disgusting, as Deli and Comfortable Land are disgustingly overextended here. They are so dead.
So Deli fighting back. Now Tonin is rooted and the locket will come through. Tonin eating a lot of the damage up front, but it will be Deli who, gets the Q auto off and will trade kills with Tonin in response to, looks like Turtle Tunes will find the stun on the Zed though, but won't have enough damage to actually help Comfortable Land. So it will just end in his own death, I guess. Togman ulted here by Pyro, won't find the grab or the Q, and eating a bit of damage under turret, won't find the response kill, actually will just leave the Death Realm low, but of course Juno winning the trade versus the Chicken Hawk.
Oh
No!
no!
Juno, but of course Pyro there to back him up. What is the Q called? It's blooming something. No, it's called, I don't know. It's blooming blows probably, I don't know, but misses awkwardly as Lee Sin finds the resonating strike onto him off of the Sonic Wave. Juno caught in the baby cage, but of course Turtle Tunes doesn't have enough damage being this far behind and won't find anything here.
He actually might have. I just think he lost vision and then got scared. I think he landed the W. Walls.
Okay, that is true, and like, you know,
That is
Juno
Lilia.
does not have any magic resist whatsoever, and it's probable. It's probable. I'll give you that.
You know, a little bit of a lack of confidence as, oh
Oh
no.
no, comfortable land caught out once again. Hasaki though will just back off for some reason, even though he's a Zed with all his sums and alts. That looked kind of like a free kill. I don't know why he didn't take it.
Okay, so I gotta put this out. I don't really like the Orchard Buy on this set here. A lot of melee champions that you're gonna constantly contact. And you're also not running Conquer, so you're not getting a huge bonus from the healing, and it's not synergizing very well. I think maybe Stridebreaker is probably the better buy here, as we see another play getting set up on the bot side.
Right, most definitely. There are a lot of champions on the side of Barspit Gaming that are definitely really adept at kiting out a set pick, like the Lilia getting the extra movement speed, Zed obviously able to swap shadows, and then of course Misfortune just has range and constant move speed bonus until damaged. So then of course,
Oh
another
my
dive onto
Jesus!
comfortable land,
Oh
Zenith
my
Blade lands,
God!
stun land,
Okay.
solar flare as well onto Deli with Deathmark, and looks like he will go down. Chicken OK showing up late here to the 1v4, lands Sonic Wave, resonating strikes back in, a bit troll, finds
What a
Dragon's Rage,
play!
and Flash Auto actually takes him down and buys him enough space. No CC coming out from Secret H, as of course he did burn all of it on Deli, so unfortunately unable to trade kills there. Well played from Chicken OK.
To salvage that absolute disaster, and I mean, wow, Comfortable Land actually just got erased. Like that said, actually just erased Comfortable Land off the face of this planet as we're again scrapping in the top side.
Both giant shields coming out of the top laners, but of course not much will actually be found. And of course extended trade goes the way of the Conqueror user. Who could have guessed? Not me.
So it looks like these top laners are just completely content outside of that one TP ball lane to just kind of, gentleman's agreement. Let's keep the top lane, guys. Nobody wants to swap. Nobody wants to make a play for another tower.
Although it is important to note though that both of these champions in the top lane here do have their TP available for this Dragon Dance that's probably about to happen, although it will be Damon Gaming with first move, although Pyro will be rotating a bit out of vision.
Oh
Perhaps
my!
setting up for a TP, as they do have plenty flank wards here in the bot side jungle of Damon Gaming. A flank ward from the Mordekaiser could be absolutely devastating, and they are also bush stacking versus the Leona with Solar Flare, so perhaps not the smartest move. Oh, Leona into the middle of the team, but of course Chicken OK will find an engage onto Juno, but of course he will go down because he goes alone, and it will be a Solar Flare found on a comfortable land, and another kill to him. Secret H still full health, of course. Flank from
no.
Pyro as he comes in. He just
sent
walks.
Turtle Tunes to Brazil. Oh
no! Although he will buy a bit of time with the baby cage. It comes out in the middle of all of it. Awkward flash. It kind of gets him out.
And Ocean Soul at 23.
Right, of course, Togman choosing not to teleport here as Pyro just kind of walked all the way down. Of course, he will pick up the tier 1 top tower for it. Don't know if that was worth the trade there, but it is what it is. Of course, second Herald will be used here in mid lane to perhaps pry it open a bit more.
Wow. Yeah, so the game just might be over, by the way, and it's not even 25 minutes. They do have Ocean Soul. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, well, Damien Gaming's gonna have to pull out some absolute miracles if they want to win this game. And it looks like it's actually a Warden's Mail picked up for Delhi. I'm wondering if this is this Frozen Heart? This builds in a Frozen Heart, yes?
Or
no?
I
know it builds into Randuin's.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does. I'm pretty sure they're like a group of items, no?
Okay, so presumably this is a Frozen Heart.
Player.
If not the Warden's Mail, or if not this is Random Domain, which actually makes no sense. So I'm gonna assume that it builds into Frozen Heart would make a little bit more sense. As Juno doing the correct thing, covering his elite carriers so that we can take this ball lane tower finally.
It will be 4 though on the top side for Damon Gaming, and they will not find the engage onto Secret Age. Some great game sense there, not walking himself to his death, unlike Comfortable Land has done countless times this game. Quite unfortunate, but you know, apparently when a support goes to get vision, they have to go alone and can't go with their jungler or something. So,
That's
oh
a sleep.
no.
Has to be.
Oh no, Turtle
Oh
Toon's
my.
heavily out of position, but the sleep doesn't come through. Maybe he just thought the target wasn't valuable enough. Looks like a completely out of position Turtle Toons will just walk out alive though. A bit awkward here.
Despite that, I mean, Bursting Games is not really on a clock now that they have Ocean Soul. The fact that they have Ocean Soul kind of means that their Mordekaiser can fight up forever.
Right,
and it kind of doesn't matter what they can do to him.
Right, looks like it will be a Nayram here, sort of, as looks like Togman will start making his way down to the bot side. Looks like a Nayram will come out for the side of, oh, BSG though, but an ultimate lance from Seraphine, but of course there is no response. Why would you engage a 3v5? That is just absolutely insane.
You should be a Baron Force now, no Seraphine ult.
Right, and of course they do have first move into the river and clear out all the vision.
And they have Ocean Soul, they can tank this forever, so...
Right, that is true, and of course, oh, Damon funnel in a bit late. Secret Age finds an ult onto None this time, but it will be Husky into the backline onto Deli, exhaust burned, so he does find nothing. Of course, Batonin is left alone with Togman and is taken down. Chicken OK in the middle of 4 will go down. And it looks like Togman is on the flank of this fight here, does get ulted into the death realm. Turtle Toons finds an ultimate onto Juno, but won't quite find anything, and he will go down to the Zed. Secret Age chasing alone here onto the enemy backline, although Husky is finally here. Togman will walk away though from the death realm alive. Oh no, the swirl seed on the comfortable land, followed by a double shuriken from Husky. Well played, good combo. It will take him down. Deli left alone yet again, defending the turret.
Yeah, you can even see that even with, I mean, they played that, Barcelona Games played that fight about as poorly as they possibly.
Oh no, Deli caught by the Zenith Blade, but does have plans to keep alive. Hasuki with the re-engage, perhaps over committing a bit there. Will find himself safe though, as he is able to just swap back the Deathmark Shadow.
Blows Deli's flash, which, I mean, worth. But yeah, I mean, worst they possibly could have, and they still ended up in a 1-for-2 trade, and then they managed to walk in and walk straight into Damon Gaming's base and take more objectives. So we're kind of seeing that Ocean Soul, especially in this comp's hands, is a little hard to deal with.
Right. Oh no, why would you take the Q onto the support? The counter engage from Secret Age here, and Tonin's ultimate bullet time will find none though, as Damon is quick to back off, although in the top lane here, Togman does catch out the Lilia, but not quite, because, you know, Lilia can just run away. Perhaps that wouldn't be the case. Oh no, what was that? That was an ultimate used by Comfortable Land. Kind of a bit of a misplay, ulting in the middle of the jungle, finding no one, and it will be Turtle Toons who's overextended here. Has to keep toying with him a bit here, as the Baby Kitchen does come down and will find only the support. Oh no, they they need to really practice a few more picks outside of this Vigar, as it is easily abused by mobile blink assassins like Zed. Quite unfortunate here.
Yeah, I mean, right now we're kind of just seeing Barcelona Games just kind of walk around and do whatever they want. I mean, if they were really trying to end out this game as fast as possible, they would just go for a continuous Baron bait again. Like, they will just never die if they just hold on to it. And we were correct, it was the Frozen Heart purchase onto the Ezreal. Unfortunately, that's not a QSS. So, if this Mordekaiser just kind of ults him with Ocean Soul, it is pretty... he's pretty done for. And it looks like instead of the Baron, they're actually just going to be going for the Elder.
Of course, no vision on this side of the map for Damon Gaming. They kind of just have to give it up or go for a steal. The Chicken Hawk is spotted out, and he goes in a bit early here.
Oh, he's got it!
A spike Q, and will get the dragon here. Oh, looks like both Cogman and Pyro will just sit in the Mordekaiser ult for a bit though as they dance around, although the Solar Flare will catch Hogman, and it will be a response here with the Showstopper after the Haymaker, and BSG Pyro will not go down until he finally does to the Ezreal Q. Check it okay here, kind of caught out in the backline after the steal will go down. Secret Age is clipped.
Oh, Deli has this, come on.
Oh, Deli E forward here will not find anything though, as Secret Age does counter with the Zenith Blade. And it will look
is back
like
at full HP.
BSG is walking out. Oh, Secret Age is caught out though by the Seraphine ult, but Deli misses Q crucially, and Secret Age lives with barely any health, but he does get out. Exhaust onto Hasuki, and he will go down. Oh no, Tonin, you can't take him now with Elter, and he will go down as well. The Vigar hanging on barely with any HP. Looks like Damon Game claw their way back in with a Brawl Light Ace at the last moment, keeping their Nexus alive just a few minutes longer here.
Wow. I mean, Chicken OK, absolute hero of this game for Damon Gaming with the steal onto the Elder Dragon. I mean, wow. And you know, the Elder Dragon steal, which manages to cover up the Ocean Soul strength with the burn and the execute damage, and they managed to finally win a team fight. A few of them did actually end up going down in the end, so the Elder Dragon buff isn't on everybody. So if they choose to pick another fight again, I mean, it's gonna be Deli or bust, pretty much.
Right, of course. It is also, I guess, important to note that Comfortable Land does also have the Elder buff, and so does Turtle Tunes. So, you know, if they land a long-range ultimate, you know, they still will be able to get the execute even if they aren't the ones dealing the damage here. Of course, Damon Gaming using the Elder Dragon leverage to play around the Baron, although I don't know how much longer this will last, as Elder Drake is a relatively short buff. It does appear though that both top laners will be matching on the opposite side of the map. Yeah, with teleport ready.
I think they have to force it, and they have to have enough discipline to not block Hogman's Slash and try and blow Pyro Slash in return. I think that's the only way. Okay, well, Elder Dragon buff is off, so there goes the...
Oh no, the chicken is caught with the Swirl Seed, but no sleep comes through. Deli looking to keep priority in the mid lane with True Shot Barrage here, although they are splitting XP a ton of ways, as Togman is first out of the bot lane and first on the flank. Maybe he can find something here, but he is caught out on a few wards here and there, so it looks like nothing will happen.
Pyro's beginning to move up as well. Oh
no,
wow,
he returns, but also, oh no, Hasuki caught out by the cage and Everfrost and instantly annihilated, and this will be Damon Gaming's window back into the game. A potential Baron buff here, but oh wait, what's this? Is it a base race? Will BSG look to take the end here potentially?
No, I think they're just going to...
No, it's not in time. Togman does use TP to get back to base. Looks like it will just be a trade of inhib for the Baron as this game is further extended beyond the 30-minute mark.
I'm going to be honest, I think they could have taken them in the 4v5. I think with MF, Leona, Mordekaiser, and Ocean Soul, they might have been able to take that. I think that that's totally possible.
You know what, I'm inclined to agree with you here. You know, they did have a huge gold lead before that point, and it will be Pyro caught out by a ton of CC here, and will go down perhaps a bit overconfident in his own tankiness here, but he does only have at most, you know, like a Demonic Helmet and an Hourglass, and, well, I was going to say tabbies, but plated steel caps, you know, to keep himself alive there, so not much he can do.
Wow, I mean, I don't really know what to say. This game should have been really hard to lose, but it looks like Barstool Game just making all the wrong judgment calls through. I mean, the inhib trade was, I think, the less risky call than taking the 4v5. I just think that, like, they're rapidly losing some item advantages here, right? This Ezreal's gonna be 6 items soon, and he's gonna be doing a lot of damage, despite Ocean. So, I would have liked him to try and find a window a little bit earlier, but, I mean, the gold lead has swung, They're at just under 35 minutes in the game.
Right, of course, and there will be another Elder Drake on the map in less than a minute, and of course, the team with Baron has priority on the move here. Although mid lane priority, it's a bit harder to obtain as they have super minions crawling down that lane.
Husky is heading towards the top side to clear some waves, which does mean
Right.
it's a little bit scary for Horseman Games to walk into this.
He is not a teleport laner, so this is perhaps the wrong call to make. Honestly, it should be Pyro up there, which it looks like Hazuki is moving now at the herald of his team, and it will be Damon Gaming that is caught out though by the wards in the bot side jungle of BSG. They will find some poke onto the solo laners, and it's a split fight. Togman finds Secret Age, but looks like they will just trade some blows and not much will happen. It looks like Pyro will base and look to use Home Guard TP perhaps here. A beautiful sleep though is found onto two members, but won't find anything as, oh no, Juno's deleted and so is Tonin out of position behind a Lilia. That's not the tank, that's not the front line, you can't be there. Oh, it will be Togman though taking on Pyro in sort of a duel here, but it seems quick to back him up. And Turtles will find the instant cage onto Husky and instantly deletes him. And it will be a fight going the way of Damon Gaming. Unbelievable here, a huge misplay from BSG funneling in incorrectly. And also, one by one, so late into the game, you can't do that versus a Seraphine Vigar composition.
I mean, we saw this happen last game. They're funneling through very small choke points against the King. They can punish them for it. They're not positioning very well in these fights at all, and it gives them another 4-man Elder buff, and Barcelona Games cannot approach them at all anymore.
This is we're beginning to see the Zed fall off a bit, not perhaps in damage and ability, but maybe perhaps in mental or something, because he keeps on getting caught by the Vigar cages, which should technically never happen, not when you have Flash up and you have R up. Even if, you know, even if you need to expend your R to dodge the CC, you could just flash afterwards anyway to dodge it. Like, you aren't necessarily killing yourself by buying time with your death mark here. Especially not this late into the game when the cooldown is likely only 30 seconds or so.
And now we see a complete momentum swing. Your Deli is actually so powerful and so tanky, right? The only one who can realistically kill him is the Mordekaiser, but the Mordekaiser just has so many other people with ulti when his team is just getting run over by everyone else that it's just hard to play at this point.
Zed is caught out by the bind here, and face break lands, and it will be the Chicken OK that takes him down. Pyro and Togman dueling in the death realm once more, but this one will go the way of Togman. Pyro has flash to keep himself alive. Sterix Gauge is popped from Togman, although Turtleton does preemptively use the baby cage here. And it will be Damon Gaming that is knocking on the doors of BSG. Oh no, Tonin barely using the ult to heal Togman off, but it will be Turtletoons in the middle of the other team here. Delido full HP still. With the Elder buff, will burn through the front line, no problem. E forward,
Oh
and the Q on the
god!
Tonin, and this game will go the way of Damon Gaming.
Wow.
P2 in the series.
Damon Gang absolutely purifying the Rift with their admittedly superior draft, and I am floored. I am actually floored that we somehow managed to caster curse that game badly.
I don't know. I honestly do want to commend the Damon Gaming playing the late game team fights very well, clawing themselves, back into the game, fighting tooth and nail there, doing everything they can, catching BSG at all the right moments, funneling them through chokes, and of course, perhaps a bit of cockiness on the side of BSG there. A lot of moments where they were caught out, perhaps thinking that Damon Gaming didn't have enough damage to finish them off, but at that point, Damon Gaming has scaled, and even though the early game and the mid game didn't go their way, they do have enough lockdown in the Vigar and the Seraphine pick to, keep you there and burn you down even through all the shields and whatnot. So some excellent play from Damon Gaming.
Yeah, I mean, I am impressed. I mean, this was a team that at the top of the day we did somewhat criticize for being unable to adapt to changing circumstances that they had shown in their last couple of matches. But they came into this game, were put at an overwhelming disadvantage in 23-minute Ocean Soul, and they managed to find the play. I mean, the Chicken OK, absolute hero of this game, coming in, stealing the Elder Dragon, beginning their comeback, giving them the time to do enough damage with the Elder Dragon to completely override the Ocean Dragon. Delhi pumping out so much damage in that game, and it just put them on the path to victory. So, I mean, he's my MVP for that game for sure, by the way. And I mean, I'm impressed. I was ready to write this team off coming into today, but you know what? I see it. I believe in it now.
Yeah, most definitely. And also the Frozen Heart by definitely the right call, stopping the Zed entirely from diving, not with the Seraphine shields, the item, and also having, a flash built into your kit. That Zed is going to have a very hard time taking you down. So definitely very excellent. I think that basically wraps up the fourth day of this tournament. Excellent play from both teams, but of course, Damon Gaming, well played late game team fights. Great job clawing your way back in. Love to see more play like that in the future. Counting on it.
I can't wait.
All right, let's end the stream.